There is far more to this world than taught in our schools, shown in the media, proclaimed by the church and state. Most of mankind lives in a hypnotic trance, taking to be reality what is instead a twisted facsimile of reality, a collective dream in which values are inverted, lies are taken as truth, and tyranny is accepted as security. There are people who enjoy their ignorance and cling tightly to the misery that gives them identity. Fortunately, some are born with spiritual immune systems that sooner or later give rejection to the illusory worldview grafted upon them from birth through social conditioning. They begin sensing that something is amiss and start looking for answers. Inner knowledge and outer experiences that show them a side of reality others are oblivious to. And so begins their journey of awakening. Each step of the journey is made by following the heart instead of following the crowd, and by choosing knowledge over ignorance. Knowledge is the key to unlocking our potential. Knowledge gives us the self-determination, responsibility, and power necessary to cast off the chains of covert oppression. Knowledge is therefore the greatest protector, for it also gives us foresight to impeccably handle the challenges of life and, most importantly, to sidestep the traps on the path to awakening. The more you know of higher truth and apply what you know, the more you begin operating under higher laws that transcend the limitations of the lower. Talking about alternative science from numerology, orgonomy, to quantum physics. We're going to talk about current events and the New World Order, the role of extraterrestrial and hyperdimensional aliens. We're going to have some discussions on how we have been farmed for our spiritual energies. We're going to talk about the Matrix. That's right, the digital matrix. I'm not talking about a movie, I'm talking about an actual digital matrix and the agents that enforce that matrix. We're going to also talk about how most people are asleep and what it takes to wake up. We're going to discuss the possibility of a cataclysmic future, different scenarios and what they might entail. We're certainly going to discuss nonlinear nature of time, the nonlinear nature of time and reality. Things like deja vu and synchronicities, as I've mentioned in previous videos. We're going to talk about the ascension, our collective reality shift into the fourth dimension, and to the fifth dimension as well. What else can we talk about? Well, let's talk about God, for example, the source. I'm not talking about the monotheistic God, that negative preconceived notions of your Orthodox religion God that's been drilled into you, that's been the concept, the very concept has been just debased by an anthropomorphic lust for greed and power. We're not going to talk about that God, the God that your preacher on Sunday or your imam has talked to you about, that rapacious God that we're all so familiar with. No, we're going to talk about the actual source of all creation. That source, that creator source, the prime creator that projects two aspects of itself as pure individuated consciousness and as matter energy. That source of all creation that infuses matter energy with fragments of its own consciousness. That we are all fractals of source, that infinite intelligent how it explores its infinite potential through an infinite variety of finite fragments, us, humans, sentient awareness, being aware of itself as a fractal of the infinite intelligence. How that source allows individuated fragments to expand via learning until they unite with the whole, unity consciousness, the law of one. How that source does not diminish in size when a fragment is created, the process known as holographic replication. We're going to talk about the soul, spirit, aggregates of conscious energy, holographic fragments of source of God. The soul as a life spark, characterized by awareness and consciousness. God spark, characterized by self-awareness and individualized consciousness. Mineral, plant, animal, and human souls differ in complexity and level of individuality, but still all part of source. Whereas minerals, plants, and animals are growing their souls. That's right, your dog, your cat, little snail that you own, they all have souls. They're just at different levels. They're growing their souls from the first, second, third, but we as humans in the third are developing our spirit to arise into the fourth, fifth dimensions, higher planes of reality. There's beings that exist without physical bodies that are pure consciousness. While occupying a physical body, genetics tend to match spirit, soul nature. If your spirit or soul is present, large mismatches in genetics and soul frequency result in failure to incarnate properly. Slight mismatches cause gradual mutations in one to accommodate the other. Genetics change with soul growth and vice versa. The developed human individuals composed of a physical body, a soul, an etheric, astral body, and spirit, a volitional and mental body. So folks, we're going to talk about all those things and much more going forward. Namaste. Namaskaram.